Well, good morning. Happy rainy, miserable, cruddy Tuesday.
Yeah, happy Tuesday.
Yeah, I got him back. It was the food. It was the food. I brought more food yesterday. All you have to do is feed him and he'll come back.
I'll be there. I'll get up early and wash my feet and put on clean socks.
Do you eat with your feet? Oh, let's not talk about that.
No,
there are countries where people
I'm
do
too
that.
stiff. I could never. I barely can't eat with it.
Yeah.
You know what's weird? Things that don't work.
Yeah.
Joints and stuff.
Yeah, old age.
But nothing has affected my guitar hands.
That's good. You're lucky.
I know.
Hey, don't you say a word, because you are very fortunate, because those are magic. Yeah. Why don't we have a guitar here for you to play?
We should have one. I'll get one back over
I've
here.
got an ironing board. You want iron?
Yeah.
No, let's play guitar.
Some.
Yeah. You know, today we're going to feature something that I worked on while I was off for the holiday. I went up to the Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds where you wrote a song called The Mountain Life. And everybody who attended...
In a flash.
Yes, in a flash. Everybody who attended the 75th anniversary got a copy of that CD. The song sounds like you wrote it for the Georgia Mountain Fair. And you wrote it for Georgia and the mountains. And we all love the mountains. Mm-hmm. There's something about that song. To me, it is magical.
Yeah, I love that song. Do you think, I got this panel truck, you might have seen it.
Yes, it's beautiful.
50 times.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful place on the side. I'm thinking about putting, Welcome to Ellijay.
Yes.
The Mountain Life.
Oh, yes.
Would that be cool?
Oh, heck yeah. Oh, yeah. He came up with an idea that I didn't come up with. Now, I don't get credit for it. I don't like that.
It's only a good idea if it's her idea.
Of course. Of course, that is awesome.
You think that's a good idea?
That is a cool truck. Can we talk a little bit about that truck? Because I told somebody it's a 1951.
Yep, a vintage 1951.
Listen to what he just said, vintage. Do you know what that makes me?
Oh,
vintage.
Yeah, vintage.
Vintage.
Well, I'm right behind you.
Vintage. I'm vintage. Do you know, I will be vintage in January, and it's very weird to me to be facing this birthday that you're going, my mother died before me, my father, my aunt, my other aunt, they all died at the same exact age, 72 years old. Now that I've crossed that bridge of the 72, I'm like, I got it made now.
Makes you feel lucky, don't it?
Yeah. Enjoy
I'm trying to
every
remember
day.
your birthday. Don't tell me. Let me see
I'm not gonna tell you.
Let me see if I can get it. I know I'll screw this up right here on live TV.
Surely not.
January 13th.
It is indeed.
I got it?
It is. You did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't even remember what I had for breakfast.
Yeah, he did. He got it.
I got it.
Yeah. It's funny, but it is, when I realized the year that I'm approaching, I thought, Lordy me.
Are you going to do a show that day?
I guess, I reckon.
Good, I'll come over here and crash it.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. I don't know what day of the week it is, but we'll,
I'll bring a load of chaos in here.
Yes, that's what he does. Now, let's talk about a load. That panel truck could haul a load. What was that panel truck for when it was in action the first time?
Oh, when they made that, they used them, if you remember the old country stores,
yes.
They would bring cigars, peanuts, and maybe some candies and stuff. They would run around the stores delivering things. And I don't know, cigarettes too, I guess. And back then we thought cigarettes were cool.
Yeah. Is that
I didn't, but
no. Is that a true color? Is that the original color that it was?
Well, we patinaed it.
Yes.
And it
looks like a professional did it.
Spotty, but the basic color of it, the more color that you see there, is the original color. Yeah.
Blue.
Yeah, you can raise the hood and it's under there. Yeah.
And I think Trace has a picture of it that we'll try to find, because I shared some pictures yesterday, and I'll do that.
Yeah.
And you'll get to see that, because this truck is the cool dude. It's like the cool dude. When you're going down the road, people are going, that's the cool dude.
Everybody waves at me when I'm driving that truck. Even little young people that usually won't even give you nothing, they start smiling when they see it, and they're, like this.
Yeah.
And that thing's got an overdrive transmission now. You can hit the big highway and run right in there with the best of them. And it freaks everybody out. They look like, what is in that?
What is it? What kind of motor is it, too?
It's just a regular 6-cylinder. Well, it ain't the original one, but it's a upsize, one size or so from the original motor.
Does that thing have heat and air?
Nope. it has heat and it has air only in the winter.
Oh, I get it. I don't know about that.
Yeah, the air works real good this morning.
Yeah. I bet it did. I bet it did.
Yeah.
Now, did it have, I didn't look in the inside, did it have wood panels on the floor? Or
Yeah.
did it come like
well,
that?
the floor is wood and it's in perfect
Yeah.
condition.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we refinished it. It's really nice.
And the
I love
history
that
of that,
truck.
is it a local truck?
No. It came from California.
California?
Yes.
We don't even let folks from California come in.
I know, California.
California?
Yeah. Came from
What
California.
are you thinking? Did you ask it how did it vote before you let it in? I'm surprised he didn't.
No, I didn't ask it.
Mr. Conservative.
I know. If I had done that and it answered wrong, I probably wouldn't have bought it.
That's exactly
Yeah.
right. Now that's the truth if it was ever told. Yeah. So you finished the music, you've got the studio already, new flooring put down, looks amazing.
Yeah.
When's the next time you're going to record something?
Well, I'm still mixing and fixing right now, but I got a lot done. I don't like too much more. I gotta go through, get another album sent in to get done. I gotta get back over. I'll tell you what, the chances are more better when it's cold like this. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'll get in there by where the heat is, and I'll be busy working on music. So I'll have more stuff out real soon. I had no idea this was going to be such an undertaking.
And did you ever dream, did you ever think that just that little, Welcome to Ellijay is a great song. I've Been Wrong Before is a super great song.
Well, thank you.
But when you get to the mountain life, you hit a home run over the fence,
I
out
knocked
of
it
the
up
park.
in the nursing home parking lot.
Yes, you did. You did. There's something about the melody, and y'all know we open the show every day with his music. And often you get to hear this song. Yeah, and it is just this song that, to me, it makes me happy. It just makes me feel good.
Yeah.
It makes me feel like I'm headed to Hiawassee, I'm headed up to the park, I'm headed on a hike, I'm headed out in the woods, I'm headed to a waterfall. It just makes you feel good.
Yeah. And she got in the car that day of the parade, and I said, you may have heard. No, I hadn't heard it.
And he thought I was lying. He said, oh yeah, you know my music. I said, no. And then I thought he was lying because I said, well, sing me the song. He said, well, I'll tell you the words. And I thought, he can't even sing.
Well, you're right about one thing.
No, I was wrong about that. I was bad wrong about that. Did you think that when you started reproducing music and you got back into it, he's a tweaker. You know what a tweaker is? Not to be confused with one of them things that
A geeker?
Yeah, just weird stuff. He tweaks his music over and over and over, and he'll say, "Now, can you tell that difference?" And I'm like lying. I said, "Oh yeah, no, I can't."
The place that does the manufacturing, a couple of times.
You've driven him crazy.
Yeah, I've sent it in, and he goes, okay, we're all set to go. How many copies? And I go, yeah. And then I call him back, and I go, you know what? Hold up. I'm going to change something. Let me send you the music.
And they're like, what is wrong with this dude?
They're the best people ever.
That's good that you found somebody.
They're in Cleveland, Ohio.
Not to be confused, but Cleveland, Ohio is not where my vice president lived. Cincinnati is where my vice president lived. Mr. J.D. Vance, that's right. That's right. So see, Ohio produced a lot of good stuff.
I'm writing a Donald Trump song.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
You are going to fall over.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Okay.
I peg it on every line. Okay?
Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay.
Bullseye.
When you going to finish it?
Real soon. These cold days will get me busy.
There you go. There you go. We need a positive, uplifting, fun song about the man who is performing magic.
Yeah.
He is performing magic. So yeah. We are so blessed, y'all. We are facing the Christmas holidays. You've got your Auntie Margie. You know, I'm the oldest person in my family now, and I'm like, that is weird. It is weird to be the oldest person. It's like I'm taking my grandmother's place, which is really weird, because I still think I'm young. I'm not, but I still think I am. And we look at this, every time you lose somebody, then that puts you almost next in line.
I know.
But we're not guaranteed that. You have friends that were young who passed. I have friends that were young that passed.
Yeah.
We're not guaranteed tomorrow.
I can't remember I'm old. Can you?
No.
Like I'll be doing something and
then you'll
I'll
say,
grab something and throw it in the back of the truck and I'll go, I really shouldn't be doing that.
yeah.
Shouldn't be lifting stuff like that.
Yeah, so take care of you, but enjoy every single day, every single moment. Put on the CD, turn it up loud. Get in your car and go for a back roads drive and turn up the music. Enjoy every day.
Go to Napa and get you some of my CDs.
There you
You'll
go.
like them.
And he'll like the $10.
Yeah, $10.
$10. And let's talk a little bit about how much money you donate to other things. Your music has given you an opportunity to give back. And that's always been important to you.
I do some of that, but
It's
my
important.
policy is if you're going to help somebody, leave the camera at home.
Yeah. And you do. And that's cool. So we've got an interview today with Miss Hilda Thomason that I recorded last week, and it's called Getting to Know Miss Hilda Thomason. She has been on the job 44 years.
That's amazing.
44 years.
44 years.
Running the Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds. Yeah. And I asked her.
She did that longer than I drove a school
bus. That's right. I was going to say she whooped you on that one.
Yeah.
She still loves her job. Today, find something that you love and get involved in it. You love your music. You love your old cars. It brings joy to you.
Yeah.
And it also brings some sadness because you think about sitting out there on the top lot and your daddy not being there.
No.
It's very...
And these cars, that old panel and all these cars, that runs so deep, Mm-hmm. These are cars that my daddy had when I was growing up, mm-hmm. friends had,
Yep.
heroes had, and they really do mean a lot.
Yep.
And I'm to the place now, excuse me, where the nasty part's done.
Yep.
All that greasy, dirty, messy stuff, it's all over
That's
with.
fun.
It's fun, yeah. It's clean work. We get over, we're putting new parts on everything. It's sitting there done almost, and that makes it more exciting.
Yep. Well, I can't
I don't know.
wait.
I'm out of focus. I don't know. I work in the studio some, and then I get sick of that. I go work on cars for a while. And then it's time to weed eat, and I just round and round.
Yeah.
But that's the spice of life.
That's right.
Yeah.
Variety.
Yeah.
We're going to give you a little variety with one of his songs now. So Trace is going to choose whatever he wants to play. And then when we come back, a commercial break, and then we're going to visit with Miss Hilda Thomason. I'm so glad you tuned in today. And don't forget to go to YouTube, hit subscribe, and you can get to see and hear his music all the time. It's right there. Just share it. Just look at it. Just listen, and you will love it. And you'll be tapping your toes, too, to the mountain life. Here we go.
Misty mountain, rainbow sky, a faraway look in your eye. Tell me, have you had enough? Traffic jams and city stuff. Don't you think it's time to go where black bears climb and waters flow? Hummingbirds out on the deck, feet propped up, and what the heck? You'll love how we live here in these mountains. Everything is gonna be alright, and we all wave hello here in these mountains. Life is good, we sleep well at night. It's alright, the mountain life. Load 'em up and head this way to the bright red Georgia clay. From Notley down to Carter's Lake, all the memories to make. So much here for all to see, a land that is so dear to me. Welcome home to all your dreams, hot rod Fords and crystal streams. Now you love how we live here in these mountains. Everything is gonna be alright. We all wave hello here in these mountains. Life is good, we sleep well at night, and it's alright. The mountain life, it's alright. The mountain life. Y'all come by and see us anytime you can.
Whether you're in the mood for chicken strips, a delicious burger, our classic banana split, or an upside-down thick blizzard treat, we've got you covered. Hot and fresh food every day, every time, and delicious DQ soft serve make the perfect pair at your favorite place. Not fast food, fan food fast. Your Blue Ridge, Ellijay, and Jasper Dairy Queens are your meet, eat, and treat headquarters.
Thank you for choosing DQ. How may I serve you?
If you or your business are looking for local advertising opportunities, we have sponsorships available for new programming coming soon on ETC3. Contact us at 706-697-5591.
See us anytime you can.
Whether you're swimming in the sea or splashing in the pool, making a masterpiece, or just making memories, writing a great American novel, or writing your term paper that's due tomorrow. Whatever you do in life, Farmers is here to protect it. For all your insurance needs, call Donald Curtis in Blue Ridge.
Hey y'all, welcome to Getting to Know. And today we are getting to know a very important lady in North Georgia. Her name is Miss Hilda Thomason. Miss Hilda Thomason, tell me a little bit about your 44-year career at the Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds.
Well, I started in 1981 at the Georgia Mountain Fair. I was 25 years old and didn't know nothing about the fair other than going to the fair as a child. When I was little growing up, we always was so excited about attending the Georgia Mountain Fair because it was the only thing happening here in this whole North Georgia area. But over the years, starting here in 81, when I first started, we didn't have any concerts like we do now. We just had the Georgia Mountain Fair, which is a 12-day fair in August. And then we had a weekend in May for the Spring Festival. Then we had a weekend in October for the Fall Festival. And that was all we had. We had no outside events, going on the fairgrounds. We had no concerts in the music hall. I started as the secretary, and then I moved on up later in the years as office manager. But when I first started, it was the president of the fair, which was Bob Anderson, Robert L. Anderson, and he was a volunteer. And he would come in 11 or 12 o'clock each day, and he'd book the talent, in Nashville for the fair and for the gospel. Back then we did the gospel and the bluegrass and the country. We didn't do any rock or anything like that, but he'd get the talent booked, and then we'd work on the brochures, and we'd check in campers, and that was basically all that we did,
And Anderson Music Hall did not exist then, did it?
We had the music hall. Yes, we did. We built music hall down here. We moved down here in 1978 from the old high school fairgrounds. And the building, the first year that we had the fair down here, we had to have a tent, 1978. And then in 1979, we got the roof put on the music hall. We didn't have no sides on it or anything like that. It had the foundation, of course. And then the next year, in 1980, they completed it. So when I started here in 1981, the building was, brand new, completed, yes. And the campsites were completed and all. But we did take camping reservations and check in camping and all, and just had the fair. And basically, that's all we did, back in the early 80s. But then we started booking concerts. At Bob passed, I worked with him for a couple of years, and he passed in the fall of 83. And then we started booking. We got a promoter out of Nashville that came down here to Hiawassee and visited with us, and we talked to him about a series of concerts. So we started booking a few along, and then we ended up doing season tickets for the whole season. We was doing like 7 to 10 concerts a year. And then Dale Thurman became the general manager here in 1986. And he stayed until 1995, and he left and went to the Greater Gulf State Fair in Mobile, Alabama, and he recommended me for the job as the general manager to the board of directors. So they hired me as the general manager in 1995, and it's been over 30 years that I've been manager. So we've accomplished a lot, and the fair has grown a lot, and I've grown with the fair, which has been a wonderful experience for me. We had 31 concerts last year, and we've got 30 this year. And of course, we've added a couple of new events this year. We had the Mimosa Festival was new. We've added a new car show. So we just keep adding events. But counting the concerts and the outdoor events that we have, the rodeos, the car shows, the craft beer festival, the wine festival, Mimosa Festival, everything we've done here, we've probably got 65, 70 events going on.
Wow. We're going to take a break, and we're going to talk about you personally.
Okay.
Because we're going to leave the fair, and we're going to talk about what does Hilda really like to do. So hold on just a minute. Okay, we are back with Miss Hilda Thomason, and now we're going to get personal. We're going to really get to know a lady who was born where?
I was born here in Towns County. I was born in 1955. And there was a little clinic over in Young Harris at Young Harris College. It was Dr. Tanner. We didn't have a hospital here in Hiawassee. We did in 57. I know my brother was born here at the Chattooga Regional Hospital. Back then it was called the Towns County Hospital, but he was born in 57. So it was built just shortly after I was born. But I was born and raised in Towns County. I lived up on Highway 180 going toward Brasstown Mall. Mm-hmm. So I only lived like 12 miles from Brasstown Mall. It's called Soapstone Road going up 180. And as a child, we had so many neighbors. There was a lot of children. There's 4 children in our family. And then all our neighbors had children. And we used to just have the best time growing up together. We didn't know what a swimming pool was. We would dam the creek up and go swimming in the creek, and just had the best time, and played outdoors and had bicycles to ride and just really had a lot of fun growing up, and we was real close to High Show Falls and Anaruby Falls over at Unicoi State Park. And we used to go over there all the time, take picnics and go up Moody Hall. We knew a lot of people up in Moody Hall, and they'd go with us on the picnics, and we go over there to the state park and hike to the falls, and we'd have picnics, and we'd ride the boats over there and paddle boats, and just had a really fun time growing up. And we'd go to the High Show Falls and go in swimming up there at the falls, and just beautiful, beautiful foliage back in the mountains like that. So I really love outdoors, and we used to camp a lot growing up as children and all. And then I graduated from Towns County High School in 1973, class of 73, and we just celebrated our 50th year just not long ago being out of high school. But that's where the Georgia Mountain Fair used to be, at those high school grounds. That's where the old high school was at. And in the summertime, we would use that high school to have the exhibits and the demonstrations and all in that school there.
When we look back at the kind of life you lived, there are a lot of children who never experienced that.
No, they didn't. And they don't even know how to play. Being outdoors like that and being in the mountains and hiking and being with families and picnics and building fires, and that is such a wonderful, special life to get to experience all that outdoors. And a lot of children grew up in the city, and of course, parents worked, and they just never took time to let their children experience that. But our parents made us work. I mean, we had like 3 or 4 gardens. We had our own pigs. We raised our own hogs, and we had a milk cow. We knew how to milk. We knew how to can. We knew how to freeze vegetables and all. So it wasn't like we ever went hungry or anything. We had plenty of love and plenty to eat in our home, and it was a real special life growing up as a child.
I got to meet your mom. Tell me a little bit about your dad.
My dad was in World War II. He was in combat in Italy, and he was fighting on the front lines, and he got wounded, and he got his eye shot out in combat. And him and his buddy was trying to dig a hole to get in. And he said the last thing he could remember is big snow on the ground. He said he was spinning around in the snow after he got shot, and he could see the blood on the ground, on the snow. And he never did find his buddy. He was trying to dig a hole. And of course, they killed him, But he stayed overseas in the hospital in Italy for, several months before he was able to come back to the United States. But he came back on 100% disabled when he came back, and he passed away when I was 15 years old. But my mother lived to be 93 years old, and she raised 4 children. And when we were growing up, we didn't have running water in the house, and we didn't have bathrooms. But we survived. We had lots of good ways to survive, and probably better for you back then than it is what we have today,
And obviously you learned your work ethics from your parents.
I did, no question about it. We all had to work. We got to play, and we got to do things, but we had to make sure we had the garden hoed. We had the wood in on the porch for the night. We had wood heaters, and we also had to make sure the cow was milked, and just chores that they made us do. And then they would let us go to the creek and go swimming, or go up and play with the neighbors, or they'd come down and play with us, or go fishing. We fished a lot growing up as children, up and down Soapstone Creek and up and down Moody Holler. We fished a lot. And so they let us play basketball or cheerlead or whatever we wanted to do in our sports in school, but they made sure that we made good grades and that we kept everything going in schoolwork, and then all of our activities that we got to do outside of the school, they allowed us to do all that. But at the same time, I'm glad of my work ethic, and I'm proud they made us work, because that's very important in life.
Now, was one of the things that's really important too in family, all these communities have so many amazing small churches.
Yes, they do. We have a lot of churches in Towns County, small churches. On the Baptist faith, my church is Mount Zion Baptist Church there on the Hiwassee River, and that's where my family is buried at, the ones that have passed on. But yes, there's lots of Methodist, Baptist, Presbyterian, you name it, it's all around us, and nothing wrong with that. It's just the way it is, And when you were up in Samington, you had a church then. And my grandfather Taylor was a poet, and and eventually I'll get some of the information. They just recently, the Towns County Historical Society gave the history of my grandfather out here at the Recreation Center. He was crippled and was in a wheelchair. He had rheumatoid arthritis, and he used to sit in that wheelchair. He was a very smart man. He was raised up on Owl Creek, which is not very far from Highway 180, but he would write. He couldn't do anything, so he would sit and write all kinds of poems and history about the county and about the community and the churches and the preachers. And he wrote about all of his grandchildren, wrote a poem about each one of our grandchildren. And they just presented all that recently out here at the rec center. And it was just so interesting to hear all that and appreciate what our grandfather and the roots that we had. And then the same thing with our my grandparents on the foster side. I mean, they were wonderful people and worked hard and always provided, and just a great life, really. It really was.
Did they ever tell you about going to church in a wagon?
Yes, and I've heard my mother talk about going to church. There was a little schoolhouse there at Mount Zion Church, and I can remember her talking about going to that school at that. It was like a one-room schoolhouse is what it was, and had a big pot-bellied stove in it. But that's how they did as far as going to church. That's what they did back then, you know. And I think she might have got an 8th or 9th grade education. It wasn't nothing anything big. And then I married into the Thomason family, Lane Thomason, and we got married in 1973. And we were married for 31 years. He passed away in 2005. He was very young. He was only 53 years old when he passed, but he got lung cancer, and passed 11 months after he got diagnosed. But his daddy was a minister here in Towns County. They were raised in Young Harris, the Warren area, Warren, North Carolina. But Lane's dad preached for over 40 years, and he preached in a lot of these churches that we're talking about in North Georgia and North Carolina as well. But he was of Baptist faith, and he lived up I think he was like 74 years old when he passed, but he preached for over 40 years in these churches, you know, and he was a welder. He did a welder. He was a certified welder, and he welded a lot on the state bridges here in the area. And he taught Lane good work ethics as well. Taught him how to weld, of course, and just helped him learn to mechanic and do things. He was a handyman. He could do anything he set his mind to.
Did he encourage you?
He did. Yes, he did. Very much so. And Lane had his own business and worked for many, many years doing underground drilling and boring. And he worked all over the Southeast with his business. And, you know, I'd go with him occasionally to some of the different cities or different states just to travel some. But I was, you know, working here at the fairgrounds, and it was hard for me to get off and go, especially as years went by. You know, we started having a lot more events here, and he'd always say, he said, we can't ever go anywhere on the weekends because you always have to work. And I said, well, we're in the entertainment business, so you have to work.
You have to.
And the weekends is when everybody wants to come see us. So
Yeah.
it was a busy time, and still is a busy time. But I don't have any children, and I'm able to give a lot more of my time to the Georgia Mountain Fair simply because I don't have children, and I don't, have a husband. I don't have anybody that I have to take care of. So I don't know many people that would be in the situation that I'm in, that they could dedicate their whole life to the Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds.
Well, and thank God that you have a job you love so much, because becoming a young widow is no fun.
No, it's not. I was 49 years old when Lane died, and it's been a great job for me to keep me busy, and enjoyed people, and I love people. I love talking with people, and I've made a lot of friendship and a lot of lifetime friendships with our campers and people that's visited here to the concerts. And not only that, I've been out in the community and got a lot of volunteers that has been so wonderful to help the Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds with all these events, because there's no way possible that we could do all we do with just a small staff that I have here. And I appreciate my employees so much, but you have to have a lot of volunteers, and it's been a great friendship and working relationship with all these people that we have begun to know.
I think one of the things I love about here is there's always a little history of the people who went before you, because as we were walking down to the lake yesterday, we noticed a bench in honor of your husband.
Yeah.
And then we noticed another bench in honor of your husband. And then we noticed a bench in honor of a tailor. Is that one of your relatives?
Yes. We have, my sister has a bench up there, Phyllis Taylor Bell, and then there's also one or two up there with my husband, Lane Thomason. It's just all our friends here in the community, and the friends that me and him together have made here at the fairgrounds, or just out in the community. He had a real outgoing personality and liked to have fun and really enjoyed people as well. And they wanted to do something when he passed, and they wanted to get a bench. Well, there's so many people wanting to help, then we ended up having enough money to buy 2 benches, and we needed benches in the yard and just at all times. So that was what we've done with the money, and put the benches down there, and people can enjoy that today.
Well, I laughed because I sat down with Lane Thomason yesterday because my knee was killing me after that walk.
So I sat on both of Lane's benches. Well, that's nice to have those beaches down there. Yes, it was. It's so pretty too, and those Wyatt woods of you in the mountains thing. It's just absolutely gorgeous, and it's a nice way to remember people. Yeah. We do the same thing out here on the fairgrounds. Inside the fairgrounds, people need to sit down too when the fair's going on and all of our events. So we still have people buying beaches and putting them inside the fairgrounds. We don't put any more in the gardens because we got enough up there, but we are doing some other things up there in the garden if you want to remember somebody and get with Catherine, and she's happy to help you and tell you what different projects we're doing up there for people that want to just be remembered. You know,
it was so quiet there and just sitting there, and I was videoing the lake, and I was watching a boat go by, and I was videoing Bell Mountain. And then all of a sudden, I heard all this noise coming through the woods, and it was about 6 people, and they were laughing and carrying on and just having the best time. And they got down there, and they said, "Oh, I bet you were enjoying the quiet." I said, "Yeah," but I said, "Come on down." And it was a family just taking a walk through Hamilton Gardens. Yeah.
You would be surprised how many people still go through that garden year round, even though nothing is blooming. There's still a lot of people that enjoy walking through that. It's
beautiful.
Yeah. It is beautiful. And a lot of people I know locally here in Towns County, they go up there every morning and walk through the gardens for their daily walk. Mm-hmm. I don't know of anything any prettier. And the birds singing and the water and the mountains year round. And it's open year round. I mean, you can go anytime you want to from daylight till dark.
There were a lot of deer tracks yesterday.
Yes, I'm sure they were. We've had bear run through the gardens and through the campground before. I've actually seen a bear swim across the lake out there in the campground. And then, of course, we've had a fox up there that had a den and had little babies. We've just had just about everything. A deer. There's plenty of deer and squirrels and rabbits and turkey. We've had turkey here. So, yeah, the wildlife is definitely here. That's for sure.
It's beautiful. And, I always tell people it's not that far. I mean, even from Atlanta, it's not that far to County, and it's a beautiful drive.
Oh, it's a gorgeous drive, and it's so pretty when you get to the mountains. There's something about the mountains that are so peaceful and so quiet, and it's just different from the city. Even though our town is growing a lot and the traffic has gotten a lot worse than what it used to be, but it's still just something about it that gives you that peaceful feeling when you get here and relax a little bit and just enjoy what we have to offer.
Do you think Towns County is aware of what happened when the Georgia Mountain Fair grew? It gave the county, the city, a boost that they could never have received any other way.
Oh, no, I think there's a lot of people in this county have no idea what the Georgia Mountain Fair has accomplished over the years to help this county, bringing all these people in here and keeping our property taxes down, and they're buying property. When they come to the Georgia Mountain Fair, they get out here and look for property. The sales tax, the amount of sales tax that we create here in Towns County, not just the Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds, but all the businesses that have all the business from the Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds that create a lot of sales tax. And then the Towns County CVB, I got a report just a couple of weeks ago on the hotel and motel tax. And last year, our county received $563,000 in hotel and motel tax. And 90% of that is because of the Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds. And then this year, I've got a report on this year already, and the year's not over yet, but we've already, the county has already received $489,000 in hotel and motel tax. That's huge for our little county. And that is, most all of that is created from all the activities I have here at the Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds, and the concerts, the festivals, the special events. I mean, that fills up all the hotels and the restaurants and everything around here. I mean, just the other night when I had the Marshall Tucker band here, it got canceled at 4:15, and we had 1,800 tickets sold. Well, the gates opened at 6 o'clock, and there's no way that I could have gotten a hold of all those people, even though I got it on social media immediately, and we sent out an email blast. But people were already here, checked in the hotels. A lot of them were sitting at the restaurants having dinner before the show started. And it was just total chaos for a little while because I had to have all my security guards stand up here under the parking shed to tell people, what had happened. But it was something that was beyond anybody's control. They had COVID. The two band members, and one of them was the lead singer, had COVID, and they were so sick, and they kept thinking that they were going to get better and they could not get well enough to be able to perform for 2 hours. But at 4:15, they had to call it, and they said that they just weren't able to even get out of their bunks on the buses that they were here on. So they were here, and then they had to cancel Sunday nights concert as well. But we rebooked them, and they're going to be here January the 10th, which is not that far off. And
Right.
we're asking everybody that can and wants to come back for the show to keep their tickets, and we'll honor them. And then the ones that have to get a refund that can't come back, then they just need to contact the Georgia Mountain Fair, and we give them 10 days to do that. So.
And it was something that couldn't be stopped. You know, the night that we interviewed Earl Thomas Conley, he had a temperature of 104, and his whole band had the flu. Yes, I remember. He was so gracious to do that interview because he was one sick boy.
That's happened over the years with several of the entertainers. Don Williams actually got here one year, and he got checked into the Chateau Lodge, and he couldn't even stand up on his bus. He had bronchitis, and he had to cancel it that day at 11 o'clock that day. So, of course, again, you can't get a hold of that many people. And it's sold out, 2,900 people. So it was definitely total chaos.
Yeah.
But people are real good to understand, and they know people get sick, and it's beyond anybody's control. So you just have to work through it and do the best you can. I mean, you have a few people that just don't understand, and they're so upset. And I was upset, we did follow through with the show.
You're right.
I already had my caterer there. We even went through the sound check. I had my sound engineers there. We had security there. We had stagehands there. It was a lot of expense to the Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds not to be able to have a concert. So it's just things that happen in life, and it's beyond your control.
Well, in the next few days, you open, I think, one of the best things you've done, the Christmas lights, because it's something for families to enjoy.
Yes, it is something for families to enjoy. We have the Mountain Country Christmas and Lights that will open Thanksgiving night, and we have added some things to it this year. It's going to be really, really pretty. We've got a lot more lights. We've got something new this year, the camel rides and the pony rides. And, of course, we'll have train rides, and we've got real nice hot apple cider and all kinds of nice fancy drinks that you can walk around and drink. You can roast your hot dogs over the fire and make s'mores. And then down in the exhibit hall, we've moved Santa Claus in down there this year, and it's just going to be beautiful. I mean, people have got to come out and see this and come with their families. And if everything goes good and it's looking like the weather's going to be good, Thanksgiving weekend, that is a huge weekend for us. We should probably have at least 5,000 people here during that time. And I think that's a good kickoff to have it open on Thanksgiving night, because all these families come into town, and after their Thanksgiving meal with their families and everything, they want to get out and come to the lights and bring everybody, and let the kids see Santa and just see all the beautiful lights and the displays. And if you don't feel like walking through, or you can't walk through, we have golf carts out there, and I have drivers, and they can take them through on the golf carts. So there's plenty ways to get around if you're unable to walk, but it is beautiful. It really is.
Now, when you had that vision, you had to go to Towns County and get a little bit of help from financing, because it was very expensive to do those lights.
Oh, yes, it was. We didn't have anything going on here in Towns County in the wintertime. And so I had been thinking about it for, quite some time. And I went to the commissioner and talked to the commissioner about it. And I told him, I said, we need something going on in the wintertime to bring people to the mountains. I said, we just don't have anything, And I said, we need to think about this. And I told him, I said, I have an idea. And it was the Mountain Country Christmas and Lights. And I said, we need a light show to bring people here and bring the tourists into town and help the businesses. And he liked my idea, and he believed in me enough to give me money to get it started with. He gave me $150,000 to get started. And then he added to that sum over the years. And we have accomplished a lot. Of course, the fairs put a lot into it. We bought some of the big displays, and there's a lot of repairs each year that you have to do. But we've continued with that with the commissioner that we have now. And we've got a train. He bought the train for us a couple of years ago. And the kids absolutely love the train rides. And we use that, like at Halloween, or we use it during the Christmas parade, whatever we want to do it. But that's something that has been a nice addition to it. And then we bought other displays, and we bought a big wall and tunnel and just different ones over the years that we've added to. But yes, it came from the county, from the hotel and motel tax that we created. And so we've been able to keep the price low for families that can bring their families and enjoy it and not have to charge so much. But it's just a great tourism attraction in the wintertime for the hotels and the restaurants, and to bring people up here.
And you're also going to do something New Year's Eve.
Yes, we are. We have done this for the last several years. We have a big fireworks show here on New Year's Eve. We don't have a concert, but we'll have that. We'll have some vendors out here and have food and hot chocolate and drinks and everything. So come out and enjoy all the fireworks, and we'll shoot fireworks off the ball field down here. and just really enjoy New Year's. I mean, and we have had concerts in the music hall on New Year's Eve. I had Blackberry Smoke here one year, and it completely sold out. But it's almost impossible to have a concert and then have fireworks, because I had to have the parking lot for the concert, and then the fireworks brings in it'll fill the parking lot up. It'll be like the 4th of July, and I think you were out. We were here.
Yes.
It's unbelievable how many people come out for fireworks on New Year's Eve. They love it. Yeah. So, yeah, that'll be an attraction to bring some more people to the county.
And you know what happens after the first, don't you? All of a sudden the phones start ringing and all the campsites are taken.
Yes. We started our camping reservations the first working day in November for people that wanted to stay a month or more. So that was a busy 2 or 3 days doing all that. And then the first working day in January, we start taking reservations for any event or any kind of special holiday, or just any reservations less than 30 days. So, yes, we will be busy.
Now, is this week, Thanksgiving week, you've got a lot of campers coming in?
Yes, we're full for Thanksgiving weekend. It's unbelievable, isn't it?
That's crazy.
And then a lot of people make reservations and come for Christmas. We'll be full again for the Christmas holidays. And what's so cool about it, if the weather's decent, they get out there and they're building big fires, and they bring their families and they cook their Thanksgiving lunch out there, or dinner, or whatever you're going to do, and smoke their turkey on the grills or the smokers, and just have a really good time out here in the outdoors. And of course the lake's down now, but it's still pretty.
Still beautiful.
It really is.
Yeah.
And I mentioned this to you, I think, the other day about the eagles. We got several eagles here on the lake now, and it is so pretty to sit out there, and they'll dive down and get fish and get some really good pictures of them. They got some nest, I think, pretty close by. But yes, we try to entertain year round. We don't slow down much. We're trying to book concerts for next year, and working on trying to get the fair booked and the fall festival, and really no slow time anymore. It's year round.
Is there ever a day that Hilda just says, I'm going to relax? What do you do for you to relax?
Well, when I relax, I like to go to the spa. I want to be treated really nice. So I try to go and just spend a day at the spa. And then like yesterday, I had yesterday off, and I went to Gainesville and got my nails done. And then I like, cooking. I love to cook. It makes me happy. And I love good food, and I enjoy that as a relaxation as well, even though it's hard work, but I do enjoy it. And then I like to go outdoors and go hiking and get outdoors and go to the state parks, or just travel and see different new sites. I like historic sites, just something to get away, from the busy schedule here at the fairgrounds, and let my mind clear just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes.
And the towns around us, I can think of at least 5 of the towns around us that have beautiful old courthouses.
Yes.
One photographer's dream.
I know, it is. It's really, I love looking at those old buildings like that. It's so nice. And then I plan to go to the fair conventions coming up. It's all the fairs in the United States plus Canada. That's going to be in Denver, Colorado coming up. We're leaving November the 30th, which is this Sunday. I'll go get my clothes packed. I hadn't even had time to think about it. So we'll leave November the 30th and go to Denver for the fair convention. And then I'll fly out of Denver to Nashville to see, we're going to the Ryman Auditorium to see the Mavericks. It's a group that I've never seen in concert. And we're going to go visit Nashville for a couple of days, and then we'll fly back to Atlanta. So that'll give me a little bit of a break. And then I'm going down to Tybee Island December the 18th through the 21st. So that'll give me a few days to get away and just relax and think about Hilda's time.
That's right. That's right. And then you're never just thinking about Hilda, because like going to Nashville, you'll be looking for new talent for here.
I'm scouting talent for the Georgia Mountain Fair.
Yeah.
And, I'm, like I said, I'm already booking a lot of shows and getting things put together. But, you're always wanting to see new things, new music, new everything, just to see if there is something out there that you're missing. You can't slow down, because somebody else will get it before you do if you don't work at it. So, yes, that's very important to get out and scout the music and all.
If you look at the one thing that you did that was risky here at the fair, what's the most successful?
The most successful thing we've ever done is the year that I had Josh Turner when the Long Black Train just came out. And I went to Nashville the year before and booked him, because I always book talent in November for the following year. And I was meeting with my promoter, and we were talking about Josh Turner. And I thought, that might be good. His voice is really good, deep, sound like Randy Travis. And he had one hit, and that was the Long Black Train. It came out after I booked him, and I got him for $12,500. Well, that next year it had just come out, and we had our paid attendance that day, our gate chairman told me, he said, Hilda, our paid attendance that day was a little over 10,000 people. Paid attendance for Josh Toyle. You couldn't walk around here, and the state patrols was down at the highway trying to direct traffic, and they had to cut the traffic off coming in here because there was no place to park, and they got campgrounds full. They had the parking lot full. It's on the side of the roads, and they were parked all the way out here on 76, all the way back out looking towards Jane Harris, parked on the side of the road, walking to the fairground. And it was unbelievable.
It's crazy.
Never seen anything like that, and I've not seen anything like that since. But I'm paying $12.5 that year for the fair, which was huge, the attendance. And then the next year I brought him back in concert for a hard ticket, and he was $40,000.
Oh my God.
Well, I had him this year at the Georgia Mountain Fair, or not at the fair. I had him he was here for the fall festival, and he was 65,000, I think, this year. So, the prices go up.
Yeah, at least 5 times what you got for the first time.
Yeah. So that was a really, really successful day when I had Josh Turner here. The Lone Black Train had just come out, and it really made him like a superstar, Yeah. And we felt like superstars too.
Oh, yeah. Well, when I look back at all the people you brought here, you gave people opportunities to see super good talent in a great location.
Yes, we did, Sherry. We have had just about everybody that's ever been in the country music world and bluegrass gospel come through the Anderson Music Hall and at the old high school grounds as well. But when we had like Reba McEntire, and we had Kenny Chesney, and we had Toby Keith, and we had Alan Jackson and George Strait, we were paying them like $10,000 to be here. Now look at Reba McEntire now, look at George Strait. And I remember when we had 9/11, when that happened, I had Toby Keith booked here for 2 shows. Now he had a 6:30 and a 9:30 show, and both of them were sold out. And I paid him $40,000 for 2 shows. And then the same thing with Kenny Chesney and Trisha Yearwood and Martina McBride. I could just go on and on with the different ones that we've had like that. And Conway Twitty and Loretta. I mean, we have had them all, really. We truly have. And we had them before they got so big. Of course, we can't afford Reba McEntire now. Our building, she wouldn't even fit on our stage.
Isn't that crazy? Well, can you show that photo that this lady who did the MC at your 75th anniversary did this picture, and I can remember I was up here that day. That is so beautiful.
It is beautiful. It's Anderson Bridge out here, and it's Bob Anderson. The bridge is named after Bob Anderson, who was the president of the Georgia Mountain Fair for many, many years. And there was a rainbow. It was just perfect. It was the day we celebrated.
Perfect. Yeah.
75 years of the Georgia Mountain Fair.
Well, one of the things that I really, really loved about being here that night was that they paid tribute to you. Because
yes, they did.
If you had not had the vision, had the guts, because it took guts to do some of the things you've done. Yeah. And I'm sure sometimes you shook your head and thought, what was I thinking?
Right. There's been a few times like that for sure.
Yeah.
And you never know when you're booking this entertainment. It's a gamble anytime you sign a contract on these concerts, because you don't know if they're going to sell or not. It's just a gamble and a chance that you take. But thank God the Lord has blessed us, and we've been very blessed here at the fairgrounds and had some great concerts and some great years here at the Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds.
And what you've done for Towns County, not just Towns County, but all the surrounding counties.
Yeah.
And a county coming out of Georgia where people leave Florida and drive all the way up here.
Oh, yeah. Just the other night, whenever this happened with Marshall Tucker Band, a lady, she said she drove 3 hours to come to see Marshall Tucker Band. And she got a room at Lake Chateaugue Lodge, but she was so disappointed that she didn't get to see Marshall Tucker as she drove 3 hours to get here, So, yeah, they come from everywhere and a lot of different states as well. I mean, people, and they love our venue. That's another thing. When they come, they just think it's one of the most wonderful venues because there's not any bad seats in the building. You can see it from out there, and you can camp, and you just walk right over to the fairgrounds.
And the other thing is they feel they're in almost a safety zone, because this is just a good community.
It is a great community, and they do feel safe, and you are safe. And I think that it has a lot to do with in this day and time, the way the world is. I really do.
Yeah. Now, if folks want to get to know the Georgia Mountain Fair, what's the best way to come for a vacation, a daycation, a staycation? What do you recommend?
Well, I always go to my website or to the Georgia Mountain Fair website. It's georgiamountainfairgrounds.com, or you can always give us a call. We're open 7 days a week. we have to be open because of the campground. And in the wintertime, we don't open on Saturdays and Sundays. We cut back a little bit, but we're still open Monday through Friday. But you can give us a call at 706-896-4191 or go to our website, like I said, GeorgiaMountainFairgrounds.com. We're happy to answer any questions and help you anytime.
And I can assure you there's something for everybody, every age bracket.
Yes, there is something to do all the time for all ages. And we just try harder and harder to keep adding things all the time, and it makes it nice to have new events and new changes and all.
Well, congratulations again on 75 years of a very successful run. 44 years now, you've done it. When you decide to let the reins go, are you going to be able to walk out that door one day?
I hope so. I mean, I really think I need a little bit of retirement time, but I'm so thankful that it is where it is, and people have been able to enjoy it for 75 years. That's quite an accomplishment to be able to say that we've been in business for 75 years. And I know some of my board members said out there the night we were celebrating 75 years, said, would you ever thought, Hilda, when we started the fair in 1950, before I was even born, that we would still be going and rocking this place like we're doing? I mean, that's a lot, but
it's amazing.
It's took a lot of people, like I said, a lot of volunteers, our Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds staff and crew to make all this happen. There is no way one person can come in here and handle all this. So it takes a special person to do what I've done. I'm not saying anything good about Hilda, but I'm just saying it takes a lot of dedication, a lot of hard work, and being able to get along with people and just really working hard to make it successful.
Yeah. And one of the coolest things I love what you've done is to offer an opportunity for children to look back in the past.
Yes, absolutely.
I think that's one of my favorite things is to go into the just go through those halls and look at the tools and the old way of life and things that children don't even know about today.
They have no clue, and it is an educational program for them. And just like when the school kids come down here on field trips for the fall festival, the teachers will take them through Pioneer Village out there, and they give them paper and a pencil, and they give them like 10 questions, and they have to answer those questions about, like in the old mountain home, you got a feather bed in there, and you got a fireplace you have to cook on. You have them old pots and pans in there, and you got the fireplace is what your heat was, no electricity. They had oil lamps. Those kids had never experienced anything like that. And that one-room schoolhouse out there, all the grades went in that one room, and had school, and they have no clue about anything like that. And it's good for them to learn that. And then just like the old mercantile store out there, they had the drugstore and the grocery store and pot-bellied stove in there. And that store was actually used over in Ellijay, Georgia. It's called the Tabor Mercantile Store. And it was brought here to the fairgrounds. But just like the board splitting and the quilting and the sawmilling and all that, the sawmilling, that's how they made their buildings. They sawed their own lumber, to build their houses. And the board splitting where you did the shingles, you made the shingles. That's how they put the roofs on the house, And
can you imagine a child today going to a well and drawing up a bucket of water?
I can't imagine. They wouldn't even know where to start at with it. And the quilting, they had to make those quilts to stay warm, and the art of quilting is really special. And those kids, they have never experienced anything like that, and probably never will. And just like the moonshine making, the white liquor, families did that to raise,
feed their family.
Yeah, to raise them, and to clothe them and feed them, and just the art of making moonshine. I mean, it's our heritage, So
one of my favorite things as a kid was to use a Ringer washing machine.
Yes, I loved it. We used to have to help our mother do that, and we'd stand there and put those clothes through that Ringer washer.
Yeah, it was crazy, and I look back now.
A living room. We'd bring it out and put it in the living room and wash in the living room.
Oh my gosh! Well, we had it on the back porch, but I can just remember that being a fun memory. Yeah.
The kids wouldn't even know what we was talking about, would they?
No. Well, we want to invite people to come to the Georgia Mountain Fair, come to Hamilton Gardens, come year round, because there's never a time there's not something going on.
That's true. We have something going on most all the time. And if we don't have a concert, or if we don't have something in the gardens or whatever, there's still a lot to entertain you here at the fairgrounds or here in our county. There's lots to do and enjoy the lake and the mountains and hiking and being outdoors and enjoying nature.
And going to Bell Mountain.
Yes,
Going to Bell, going to Bell Shopping.
it's a great place to go. The view up there is like a 360-degree view, and you can just see everywhere up there. It's so pretty, and you can look down on our beautiful town, our beautiful county.
And to your employees, they're the best. They are the best.
They are. They do a great job here. They've been working so hard trying to get all these lights and displays up, and now I've got them decorating the stage for the Oak Ridge Boys Christmas concert that's coming up December the 5th. So they don't never get to slow down much either. I mean, it's just, we just all work together like family.
And that's what it is. Yeah, it's one big family that says, welcome home, welcome to the mountains, and come and get to know the mountain life.
That's exactly right.
That's right. Thank you for doing this, and thank you for being you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for having me. Yep.